What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today we have an unexpected video. I live over an hour away from my shop down here, and I just got a call from a transport company telling me that a car that I bought almost 3 weeks ago has finally arrived from South Carolina. And I'm very concerned about this one because, again, Hurricane, South Carolina. I don't know exactly where this car was located, but I do know that when I purchased it, it was supposed to be a run and drive. I definitely know that it was running in the video of the auction, and the transporter just called me and said, we need you to get down here ASAP because this car does not run and we cannot unload it off of our trailer. So we're almost down to the shop. We're gonna find out what the deal is with this car. It is a 1995 Chevy Monte Carlo Z34. It's got that 3.4 liter twin dual cam, whatever they call it. And it was running and driving in the auction 280,000 miles, but apparently something has happened and it no longer runs.
Think of someplace private, someplace quiet, someplace comfortable, someplace truly your own. Now, think of it moving at 80 feet per second. Introducing the all-new Monte Carlo, a very personal space designed from the inside out around you, the driver. The all-new 1995 Monte Carlo. Genuine Chevrolet.
All right, guys, here we are pulling up. He said that he was out here in this alley. There's Roxy. Oh, boy. Oh, it's an enclosed trailer. He carried that thing in an enclosed trailer. No kidding. All right, well, this should be fun. So let's pull up here. And, oh, that trailer is beat to hell and back. Oh my God. Is my car okay? All right, so he said his jump pack wouldn't start it, so he doesn't know if it runs or not. I've got the good old, if this one won't start it, nothing will, guys. This is the NoCo GBX 155. This thing puts out a lot of juice, so if this can't start it, nothing can. Well, there's a bit of good news, guys. She runs. I was so worried, man. I'm not quite sure what I think about this car just yet, but we'll see. Oh, wow. Whew, okay. Oh, what is happening? Oh, it's strapped down. It's strapped down! It's still strapped in. Yeah, it's still strapped down. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Well, it runs. All right, I had to climb under the car with it running and everything, and I had to unstrap it. I breathed in a lot of exhaust fumes. Here she comes, first look at the Z34, and we're gonna find out if this car was worth it or not. Shipping alone was terribly expensive on this one, but if I remember right, I don't think I paid more than like $500 or $600 for this car. Supposedly a run and drive. Is that a matte finish? Or is it just dirty? Oh man, I haven't seen one of these in so long. These are so rare to come across anymore, guys. One of my favorite old Chevys. These and the Luminas. I also really like the Lumina, which basically the Monte Carlo is the same car as a Chevy Lumina is. It actually looks pretty good. A little rough, but obviously well over 200,000 miles. Tires look good. Maintenance records on this thing are absolutely incredible. This car has had a lot of work done to it. But something's going on. It looks like somebody spray painted it. They did. Somebody spray painted the top half of the car with like a matte paint. This would be a good one to send down to Mako if it's actually a run and drive. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Ooh. There we go. There she goes. Oh man. There it is, guys. She is a little rough, but it sounds good. The engine sounds solid on this. I do see some relatively fresh damage on here too, though. All right, guys, let's give it a minute, get this thing completely out of here, and we'll come back and take a look at our new Monte Carlo. All right, guys, so here she is. I've spent about a half hour dealing with getting the thing sorted out. And, well, there goes my Carfax. So this is an interesting one. I didn't remember this, but here it says Fort Jackson, Department of Defense, 2015. Up here, this is a car donation foundation, which is great. That's a charity. I love buying cars from charity. You never know what you're going to get, but at least you know no matter what, the money goes to a good cause. So here we have a Carfax report. This is a Carfax certified one-owner vehicle. 35 service records on this, guys. Clean title, no salvage, none of that, no odometer problems. Looks like it's had an accident, no recalls. Hey, the warranty is expired. Let's see what we start out with. Recommended maintenance performed. Wow, oil change at 34,000 miles in 1998. So this is interesting. 94, it shows the first owner. Then 97, registration renewed. At 34,000 miles, oil changed. And then registration. Accident in 1999. Vehicle serviced in 99. 46,000 miles, fuel filter. Recommended maintenance performed. 54,000 miles, oil changed, tires rotated. 69,000 miles, drive belts checked, fluids checked, oil and filter changed, tire rotation checked, body lubricated, cooling system checked, steering suspension checked. And then 71,000 miles in 2001, vehicle service. Doesn't give you much more information than that. 92,000 miles. This is interesting. Boy, it jumped here, didn't it? 92,000 miles in 2002. Recommended maintenance performed. 90,000 miles service performed. That should have included the timing belt. Then we have emission system and a tune-up performed at 92,000 miles. Then you get to 100,000 miles in 2003. Dry belts checked, fluids checked, oil and filter changed, tires, body lubricated, wiper switch replaced, cooling system checked, steering and suspension lubricated. Service contract issued at 120,000 miles. So somebody got an extended warranty on this from American Auto Guardian. 124,000 miles, alternator was replaced, and that was in 04. Right again in 04, alternator replaced. 04 again, tire condition checked, cooling system, dry belts, fluid, steering suspension, oil and filter changed, fuel filter replaced, and throttle body replaced. And you get all the way down here to 127,000 miles, and it just says serviced. Intake manifold gaskets replaced in 04 with 128,000 miles. And then moving along, alternator replaced again in 06, dry belt replaced in 06, serviced in 06. It doesn't tell you much. 165 serviced, starter replaced in 07. At 177,000 miles, refrigerant added for leak checked. Okay. Serviced in 08, 09, it had 196,000 miles, oil was changed. Well, there's a lot here, guys. Bear with me. You can fast forward if you're not interested in this, but this is all done at the dealer, by the way, Love Buick GMC in Columbia, South Carolina. 205,000 miles, maintenance inspection completed, dry belts checked, fluids checked, oil and filter changed, tire pressure checked, body lubricated, shift indicator replaced, shift indicator light bulb replaced, dry belts replaced, spark plugs replaced. Very nice. 209,000 miles, maintenance inspection completed. 211,000 miles, we're up to 2010 now. AC compressor replaced. Maintenance inspection completed. In 2010, 212,000 miles, AC hose and line replaced. 230, all at the dealer. Right here is a Sears Auto Center. Tires rotated, tire repaired. Registration, ignition lock cylinder replaced by the Chevy dealer at 230,000 miles. We're up to 2011 now. Maintenance inspection completed in 2013 at the Chevrolet dealership at 258,000 miles. At the same 258,000 miles, throttle body cleaned, spark plugs replaced, fuel injection system service flushed, fuel filter replaced. Now we're up to 2015, tires replaced, which makes sense because the date code on the tires is 2014. So 2015, tires replaced, valve stems balanced, alignment checked, four-wheel alignment performed, and an oxygen sensor replaced. Then we get up to 2017, 280,000 miles. Tires balanced, alignment checked, tires rotated, four-wheel alignment performed. Moving along, and this is where it drops off. In 2017, something happened because this car just dropped off. They kept the registration up to date, but that's it. It didn't seem to be driven anywhere else. Yeah, registration and then vehicle purchased, which this would be me, September 5th of 2024. I didn't realize that. But September 5th of 2024, it's October 2nd for me. So it's been almost a month ago that I bought this car, and that's the end. So, Carfax one owner. And it looks like it's been off the road for a lot of years, guys. Probably, you know, 8 years or so it's been off the road. So I'm kind of surprised that it's actually sitting here running right now. Let's go ahead and take a quick walk around and get a better look at this car. This damage that I thought looks kind of recent, and it does. I checked the auction photos, and that was actually in the auction. So this was like this when the auction got it. The guy that delivered, super nice guy, but he had me under the car with it running, trying to undo the straps. He ran them over and crushed them. So I'm trying to get these straps out from under the car with the exhaust blowing in my face, and he was smashing my door. I know it's an old car, guys, but still, he was taking my door and just smashing it into the wall of the trailer, and I was like, oh my God, man. It's not perfect. We didn't pay a perfect price for it. I'll tell you here in just a minute what we paid for it. Obviously, somebody did some spray painting. The tires, although they look great, they are dry rotted like crazy, guys. I mean, they're really, really bad. We're still gonna try to take it on a 10-mile run because that's just what we do around here. Overall, though, a few dings, obviously almost 300,000 miles. Can you really complain about some dings? Not really. It's been sitting here running for probably 40 minutes now, and it's just purring like a kitten. You take this to Maaco, get a fresh coat of black paint on it. This thing would look really nice. The important window worked. Less important window also works. The windows need retinted. You got some wood grain. Door panels are in amazing condition. Even the seat, I'm shocked. But the driver's seat, bolsters and everything, really good condition. Same thing with the back, good condition. And the headliner too, same. We have the rear view mirror in the back seat, which is nice because it looks like it fell off. And what do we got? We got a big bolt. I don't know what that's for. We have, that doesn't work. Battery's probably dead. Looks like we got a gas key here. And what lights do we, oh, she's starting to get warm. She is getting warm. I don't think the cooling fan has come on. Good Lord. If we rev it up, will it go down any? Anti-lock brake light is on, that's it. We should probably get this thing moving and get some air blowing through it to help cool her down a little bit before she starts really overheating. Oh, there's the, yeah, there it is right there. Glove box, not much of anything in there. Radio works. Air conditioning, I did not hear a compressor. Heat works. Let's turn that off. So the blower and everything works. We need to get this thing moving real quick. Power steering seems to work. Oh, we're gonna have to cut this. Great. I'm probably gonna shut the car off, and you already know it's not gonna start back up. We know that it goes forward and backward, and that's about it. I'm gonna keep my eye on that temperature gauge, guys. Spider web right here. I think the car has been sitting a while. Let's shut her down. Fired right back up. Let's just give her a little rev. That means the battery came back to life. Temperature's actually going back down. So maybe a cooling fan kicked on? We're gonna shut it off anyway. I gotta cut this off, so that's gonna take me a minute. Car is actually pretty comfortable, guys. I mean, bad window tint, bad paint. None of this is too big of a deal. Oh yeah, she's been parked a while. Oh yeah, you can see all the residue. This is like mold and mildew buildup from being parked for a long period of time. This is all spider webs. Look at all this. All spider webs, guys. Yeah. She's been parked for a long time. Somebody gave her a bath. Came with some spare parts. Oh, this is nice. Hopefully this is still usable, but this is the door strip that's missing on that side. That's huge because I was just wondering where would I find this at. So we've got that. We've got a jack. We've got a lug tool, a spare washer reservoir, jack handle, spare tire with air in it, and carpeting, like something an old person would put, right? Some carpeting back there. How nice. She needs work, guys. She does. Let's pop the hood. I'm thinking the cooling fan is not coming on, guys. And maybe this car's check engine light is burned out. Oh, she's bubbling. Uh-oh. She's bubbling. Yeah, she's hot. Great. Great. So we overheated it. That's interesting because the temperature gauge never showed that it was overheating. Wonderful. That's a great way to start a video. Oil is crystal clear, clean oil. Pressure, yep, pressure on the cooling system. Hopefully nothing bursts while we're standing over the car. Trans fluid, doesn't hurt, take a quick look. I can't really see, to be honest with you guys. And this dipstick is awful hot. It doesn't look black or anything, but it's definitely not like a bright pink like you would hope for it to be. Let's put it back in its little home here. Honestly, once it stops bubbling, I think we really need to get this thing out on the road and really get some airflow through that radiator, help cool it down. That is, she's bubbling like a son of a gun right there. Got coolant in it though, so I guess that's a plus. Why don't we rip this off real quick, and then let's figure out how much we paid for this car. And then I'll tell you how much I ended up having to pay for shipping to wait a month for the car to get here, and then get to unstrap it and basically unload the dang thing myself. Well, she's still a bubbling, guys, but we're gonna go ahead and try to take it out anyway. Starts up, runs great. Check engine light does work, and it is not on, but obviously something's going on with that cooling fan. Power mirror, I'm gonna assume, yeah, that one works. The other one, long gone, guys. Left the chat. That's fine. Ooh, what is that noise? Oh, that doesn't sound good. Oh man. Let's try to get some airflow through this thing. It does have brakes. I don't know how good they are. You could tell this car has not been on the road in a long time. Temperature steady climbing. Come on. Get some airflow through there. Let's cool her down. Cool it down. Horn? Horn works. Temperature, is it cooling down? I don't know, guys. It doesn't look like it's cooling down. Surprisingly, it's driving just fine. There's some awful noise coming from the back. I'm going to assume it's probably a bad strut. It's cooling down. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Cool off, girl. So this car has got some problems. This car has got some problems. Now, with that said, it is a 1995, and it does have almost 300,000 miles on the odometer, so can you really get too upset with the car for having a few quirks? Air conditioning doesn't work. Likes to overheat because the cooling fans don't work. There's a horrible noise going over bumps from the right rear. But take a look at the gauges. I'm cruising at 55 miles an hour. Temperature's gone down. The only warning light is an anti-lock brake light. And I'm going 60. Let's see if the cruise control works. I can't tell. Nope, it's slowing down. No cruise. No cruise control. But it rides so good. The steering in this thing is great. I'm serious, even on tires that are 10 years old and dry rotted beyond belief, this thing is smooth as silk going down the road. I mean, seriously, this is not a bad car. You guys want to take some guesses as to how much I paid for it? Go ahead and take your guesses now. We're going to do it, guys. We're going to try to do the 10 miles. Looks like the trip does not work either, but the odometer does. We are cruising 65 miles an hour down the highway. And it rides out great. Oh, this one's going to be interesting, guys. How much is this car really worth putting into? I just don't know. So I rolled up the windows in case there was too much wind noise. I can deal with the heat for a while. Everything is good on this car so far, guys. No funny smells, no real rattles or vibrations or anything, just that squeaky noise coming from the passenger rear of the car, which I got a hunch it's a strut. Coming from South Carolina, this car shouldn't have any rust or any issues like that. Body's relatively good. As far as paint is concerned, Mako owes me a little over $500 for a certain part that they never got installed on my Scat Pack. So we worked a deal out, and I told them, look, I don't need the part. I'm not interested in the part or getting it installed because I no longer own the Scat Pack. We sold that through Copart. So I was like, why don't we just put that $500 back? Maaco can hold on to it until I need something painted. And they said, sure, not a problem. So we worked out the deal with Maaco, thankfully, because I love them, guys. God, they have been so good. They do such good paint jobs, and I really didn't want to burn a bridge with them. At the same time, I'm not going to sit around and let anybody walk away with $500 of my money either. So here's where we're at. I'm thinking this car, I could get it painted for practically free at Maaco, and it would have a nice, shiny, new black paint job. I could have them touch up those scrapes in the back and a couple of the little dings that it's got. They could really make this car look nice. The interior is good, guys. It runs great. It rides great. So a fresh paint job for free, throw some tires on it. We'll get some cheap tires from tires-ez.com, not sponsored, but I use them all the time. A cheap set of tires so that we don't have to worry about having a blowout on the road. Fix the squeaking noise in the back, a fresh paint job, throw some AC refrigerant into it, hopefully get that air compressor working since it's only, well, what is it? It's only 80,000 miles old on the air compressor. Brakes feel great. I'm hearing a weird noise. That's a rattle. It's not coming from the brakes. I'm not really sure what that's coming from. Let's see if we can just get over here real quick, and then we'll get out and we'll see if the car is smoking or any of that stuff, and I'll take some photos for a thumbnail type deal. Brakes feel great, guys. We made it. I'm surprised. Oh, yeah, we made it. The odometer works, but the trip doesn't. 5 miles. It's already trying to get hot. Boy, it doesn't take long, does it? Okay, I'm gonna roll this window down, express down too, look at that. I'm gonna roll this window down, we're gonna walk around it real quick because she is already trying to get hot again. Oh yeah, look at all the mildew and mold. I didn't see that at home. Yeah, somebody parked it, but why? Listen to this thing, it purrs like a kitten. They must have parked it because of the overheating problem, but I mean, that's not a big deal. It could be something as simple as a coolant temp sensor. In fact, if we pop the hood, help me out here, Lord. If we pop the hood, oh, she's getting hot fast. If we pop the hood, it could just be a bad blower motor, you know, a bad radiator fan motor. But there should be a coolant temp sensor, usually over by the thermostat or thermostat housing. I don't see it over here, and I don't see it down there. Great. Where is it? She's going to start getting, yep, she's bubbling. She's starting to get hot. No time to play around, guys. We got to get back on the road. Yeah, guys, she warms up quick. Like, no joke, she warms up quick. Obviously, I don't want to be smashing on the gas or anything. Normally, I love putting, oh, the struts are shot. The struts are shot on this front and back. Oh, yeah. Come on, she's getting hot. Let's cool her down. Get some airflow through that radiator. Once I get it to the house, I'll shut it off. We'll see if we can't force the cooling fan to kick on. It could be a relay. I mean, with these kind of miles, it could be the fan itself. It could be the relay. It could be the sensor, the coolant temp sensor, but you'd think you'd have a check engine light. Obviously, transmission shifts through all the gears, so it is legit a run and drive car. I was really worried about this one because they said that it ran. I heard it running in the listing, and then next thing you know, the driver gets here and he says, by the way, it doesn't run. Guys, I'm cruising 70 miles an hour, smooth as butter, man. So I just looked up the auction receipt. I paid $325 for this car. No joke, I paid $325 for this car. I paid $1,080 for shipping, $1,080, and I got the privilege of unloading it myself. But the rest of it is fees, because total price for this car was right around $1,700. That's right. So everything else is fees. Now, is that a lot of money? Yeah, all in $1,700 for this car. It needs tires, it needs struts, it needs paint, it needs windshield wipers. Who knows what else? It needs something with the cooling fan. Air conditioning doesn't work. Yeah, guys, that's a lot of money for a 300,000 mile 1995 Chevrolet Monte Carlo. But come on, guys, it's a Z34. I'm trying to do a bunch of cars from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. I love these cars. I love them so much. And even if it doesn't make financial sense to do it, I think we're going to do it, guys. I think we're going to really try to spruce this one up, make it look as good as we can, get it running as good as we can. Honestly, it runs great. It runs great, but air conditioning would be nice, fresh tinted windows, fresh tires. This thing would be great. The brakes, I'm surprised at how good they feel. I expected something this old with this many miles to be like when you hit the brakes. No, super smooth. Take a look at the instrument cluster, guys. You can see the miles are now 282, 512, and the temperature gauge is nice and cool. It heats up fast, though. This car does not like to sit idling without that cooling fan on. So we're gonna get it up in the yard. We're gonna put it in park, pop the hood. We're gonna see if there's some way we can force that cooling fan to come on by simply pulling the wires, the plug, the connector for the coolant temp sensor. That should immediately get the cooling fan running, and if it doesn't, that tells us we probably have a fuse, a relay, or some other issue like a burned out fan motor. But there she is, guys. She made it 10 miles and it runs great. Now you can see after just getting back from that test drive, she's not bubbling over. Not at all. She's nice and cooled down, so this is not like a head gasket issue. I could put my hand on here and hold it, and it's not too crazy hot. I wish I could find the plug that goes to the coolant temp sensor. If we could just find this is going to be a cam sensor, presumably one on the back. There's your EGR valve, there's your idle air control valve, throttle position sensor. I mean, I see everything that I'm looking for, except anything to do with the cooling fan. Okay, so I've been out here messing around with this thing for a little while off camera, and it's not looking good so far. Thankfully, this is not too huge of an issue, guys. I mean, overheating is definitely an issue, but I don't think this is that big of a deal. Here's what I found. Unfortunately, this is not the greatest news. It looks like the coolant temp sensor that actually runs the fans, there should be two of them. There should be one somewhere in the driver's side of this front head somewhere, but way down there somewhere, I was able to see it with a flashlight. The intake, or the coolant temp sensor that runs the fans, is actually buried under the plenum, so it looks like you got to get this whole plenum out. So it may be something we have to do. I also found a vacuum line that was just hanging. I'm not quite sure where this goes. Cruise control is electronic, but I'm sure it requires vacuum, and this looks like it should be plugged in to something somewhere, but I don't see anywhere for it to go. The battery is a new battery. It's got a die-hard silver. Nice looking battery, so that's always good. Everything down here looks like it should be okay. So here's the idea, guys. We got the air box out of the way, and here's another thing. They claim that the throttle body was replaced. You can't replace the throttle body on this, guys. It's part of the plenum, so not quite sure how they did that, but if you look in there, it's actually pretty dang clean. The idea is we have the charge port for the air conditioning right here. I got my AC kit, some cheap R134 Freon to go in it. The idea is, since we cannot get to that sensor, and yes, I already checked the fuses on this side of the car. We got several 60 amp fuses. We have a couple of relays for the fans, and we also have fuses. I checked all the fuses, they're good. The relays, I assume, are probably good. And here's the thing, if one fan died, I could understand that, but both of them? When the temperature of the engine gets high enough, both fans should come on. There's no way both of these fans are dead simultaneously. No way. I guarantee it's the sensor. So my idea for forcing the sensor to come on is to put enough Freon in this thing to activate the air compressor. As soon as that happens, the cooling fans should come on. And if they come on, then we'll know that they work. We'll know that the circuits are all working like they're supposed to. And we'll know that the problem is most likely with that sensor. And then, well, you know what you do? You just drive around with the air conditioning on 24/7. And, or you just run a couple of speaker wires to one of your cooling fans, run it through the pillar. Here's how you do it. You open it, it's super simple, guys, and it's almost free. Run it right through the fender here, okay, and then through the pillar, and then just stick it in here or something, you know, a switch. Probably just like a 5 amp, 5 amp switch with some speaker wire should be fine. And then you can just manually turn the fans on and off as you please. So it looks like the AC system has nothing in it. I hope you guys know I was joking about that, right? Surely you knew I was joking about running some speaker. I've seen it a million times, guys. I've seen people just determined to burn their cars to the ground doing it that way. So we're going to put as much pressure in the system as we can from this bottle alone without the engine running. And then we're going to fire it up. And we're going to hope that the air compressor starts cycling. We're going to hope also that the car even starts, because right now we have disconnected the mass airflow sensor and the intake air temperature sensor. Some cars don't like not having the mass airflow sensor plugged in, guys. So I think we got as much in this thing as she's going to take. Let's see if it'll run with those sensors disconnected. It should fire right up now. Air conditioning, max AC, check engine light is on, of course. She's running. Cooling fans, no. Ah, the AC is working though. That's not good. That's not good. So the AC is on and functioning apparently. Come on, cooling fans, kick in. Come on, it didn't even hold that much. Come on. Maybe the AC is not on? It seems like it's sucking it down though. Take a look at the gauge. And the can is ice cold. There it is. Come on. No, cooling fans are not coming on. This is not good. Yep, okay, so we're gonna need to look somewhere else, guys. Each cooling fan should have its own relay. I find it very difficult to believe that both fans are dead or that both relays have failed. That is just... I can hear the compressor cycling, but we got no fans. Newsflash! Looky, looky! We have cooling fans! Yes! Alright, so this tells me that most likely, as much as I don't want to pull that intake off, I watched Alex from Legit Street Cars do it. It didn't look that bad. You know, probably not the most fun that you could have in a day, but it looks like that's what's going to have to happen. We're going to have to pull off that plenum, replace that sensor, and I'd be willing to bet that we get cooling fan functionality again. I'm a little surprised that we have one fan on the driver's side on. That's the primary fan. The secondary fan is the one on the passenger side. It is not on, but I thought that with air conditioning, you got both fans to come on. Why don't we see what the AC is doing inside the car here? Is it cold? Or I wouldn't expect it to be, because we really didn't put that much Freon. Temperature is actually that's not bad. That's strange. The passenger side feels warmer. This is not a dual zone climate control either. So it's actually relatively cool on the driver's side. The passenger side, however, is... Oh, that's warm. Hell no. That is very bizarre. Yeah, the passenger side is warm. Driver's side's pretty cold, guys. I mean, it's definitely not freezing cold. You're not gonna stay nice and cold on a hot summer day. We do need to add a little more Freon to it, but I mean, we're getting there. And you can take a look at the temperature gauge, and it's staying nice and in the middle now, so no more overheating. Means we're making progress, guys. I'm not going to make this entire video trying to figure this out, you know what I mean? It's one of those things. We can get to it eventually. You may have noticed, but I have an entire yard full of other cars. The main thing is to figure out which of these cars run and drive, which of these cars are worth putting money into and fixing up, and which one of these cars are so far gone that we should probably just send them down the road, guys. And I think even though this one is a stretch for me, I love the look of the Monte Carlo. The Z34 is just a great car. Uh-oh, the cooling fan has slowed down significantly. She's not pushing a lot of air, guys. Oh, there's the other one. There's the other one. There it is. Now that one is moving. There it is. We've got both fans going now. So things are working. That one is really blowing. That one over there, that fan may just be on its way out. May be worth replacing both cooling fans for that matter. AC compressor is just spinning away down there, man. She is just going at it. And it doesn't look like she's really wanting to take much more Freon. Seems a little low. I'll fight with it a little bit more, try to squeeze a little more into it. But so far, guys, I think this one's worth trying to save. So this fan right here is totally screwed. It will come back to life. You got to kind of, there you go. See, you got to give it a hand with a screwdriver. She'll come back to life. That motor is completely dead. That one, I feel like, even though it's doing very well, it should be pulling a little bit more than it is. We're going to need to replace both of those before too long, guys. Now, let's see how the air conditioning feels, because I got it nice and charged up. It took a little while, but we got her fully charged. Oh, yeah. Even that side is cold. Hold up. Can we open this one now? Yeah, this side is cold. Now, I was going to say, it's very weird that that side was warm, because this is not a dual zone climate control system. Let's see if we can get some radio stations going here. Almost. Come on. Do we have anything? No, we don't have anything. Balance, fader, bass, treble. We got nothing. Tape? Nope, there's nothing in there either. All right. It's trying. It is trying. So, working windows, we now have cold air conditioning. The temperature gauge, although it's been sitting here idling for quite a while, the temperature gauge is sitting right where it's supposed to be. That makes me very happy. So we seem to have somewhat fixed the issue. This is not fixed, guys. This is just a way of getting the cooling fans to come on. Like I said, that one is trashed. Might as well, if you're gonna replace one, we should probably go ahead and replace both of them, in all honesty. That dang coolant temperature sensor down there, that one's gonna be fun. So I let it run for a while. I might let it sit for another half hour with the AC on. You can see where the temperature gauge left off at. You know, it's definitely higher than I wanted it to be. So, I mean, it fires right up though. Starts right up. Whoa, hey. Enough of all that. Air conditioning is still nice and cold. Now that it's had some time to sit, let's check those fans. Oh wait, I hear it. It's good and strong now. Oh, no, it's not. So that one is just, there's no way. And here's the reason I think that it's still trying. It's not overheating, but it's getting hotter than normal. The air conditioning creates a ton of heat, guys. There's a lot of heat going through the condenser. And you got one fan over here that is barely pumping out anything. This one, it's pulling decent, but that's not strong enough. So what I think is we got two weak fans here, guys. And it's not pulling enough airflow through here to keep the car cool when sitting at an idle for an extended period of time with the air conditioning running. I have faith in this car. I really do. It wants to live. It deserves to live. So I think what I'm going to do to this one is I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. I'm going to shut off the air conditioning. I'm going to roll up the windows. We're going to throw all the parts in the trunk. And we're going to come back to this another time. I think we might be able to get away with reusing the old intake manifold gaskets. But it's one of those things, once you get it off, we're going to need to see what else is going on. Are the valve covers leaking? You know, do we need to do valve cover gaskets? Should we do a tune-up while we're in there? And you know, those while you're in there things, those are what really get you, man. I wish there's another way of getting to that coolant temp sensor. If anybody's familiar with the 3400, you got any insight? Whoa, hey, nice to see you guys. I almost dropped the camera. Got any insight on how to get to that? I mean, it is buried under there. Definitely let me know. And then you've got the timing belt. So that's a whole nother thing to think about, is we need to pull this cover off, see what condition the timing belt is in as well. You see what I mean? These old cars, yes, they're cheap. Yes, you can get them for a few $100. Absolutely. It's the money that goes into trying to keep them going that really makes these older cars almost not worth it. You guys comment below, tell me what you think of the 1995 Chevy Monte Carlo. Stay tuned, I got a lot more videos to come. And do me a favor, if you enjoyed today's video, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. And until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.